Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Lifted a Barber. I had a video previously 1 year ago where I did what I learned from barbering in 1 year, 1 year of barbering in a barbershop. And so I guess this is the update. This is 2 years into barbering, and now I'm in my own barbershop suite, one chair. Went from a 10-chair shop to just by myself. And yeah, I'm gonna share some things I learned my 2nd year of barbering, and maybe you can learn something. Number one is skills matter, but people skills matter more. What I mean by that is there's guys in your shop right now, or going to be, there's a lot of guys that cut very well. They're like magicians with the clipper. They can do any haircut, they can do any design. They're nice with the lineups, the fades, everything. But they have zero people skills. And then they wonder why they're not full, or they don't have, a full client base, or people don't come back to them. And it's because they don't have people skills. Guys, you could be a average barber, but if you have really good people skills, you're gonna be booked out. People are gonna come back to you because they like you. They like you for who you are. You make them feel good, and you instill confidence into them. Maybe the haircut's not the very best it could be, but you make them feel better. And that's the most important thing, is that they feel better when they walk out the shop, okay? Making somebody feel better after the haircut is part of the job. I mean, imagine you get a haircut, but you just feel bad about it for some reason. You don't feel good when you leave the shop. It's not a good feeling. So main thing is your skills matter. You want to give a good haircut, because you don't want them thinking, man, this guy's such a good guy, I'll come back to him. But once another person pops up that's better, they're gonna switch to him. So you want to have good skills, but what matters more than your skills are your people skills, okay? You want to be nice to people, respectful. Respect their time, respect them. Don't disrespect people. Just be a genuine guy and have conversations, All right, number 2, guys, is consistency beats talent every time, okay? You could be the best barber, but if you don't show up to work on time, if you don't have a set schedule, it doesn't matter, because who's gonna come to you? I have a client that he actually goes to this one guy, and he loves going to him. The problem is he's gone every week. He's on a vacation, or he's gone, he can't book with him. So he just comes back to me because he knows I'm gonna be there, And people would rather have a person that's consistent with them than a guy that's very good at his craft, but just inconsistent with everything else. Okay, guys, number 3 is not every client is your client, okay? And what I mean by this is you're gonna get clients that you don't like, okay? They just don't fit your vibe, and you just don't like cutting their hair, but they pay good. So what do? In my opinion, it's best to let them go and go to somebody else that fits their vibe, and don't let it disrupt your peace, okay? So it's just a matter of this, right? Do you care how it feels in your shop? If it feels like depressing with that person there, or it feels like, I don't know, you have this weight on your back, every time you cut their hair, and everybody else is fine except for this one person. Would you rather keep him as a client or have him go to somebody else, And it's okay to say no. You saying no to that one client could level you up, The thing is, guys, clients are gonna leave, whether they're good for you or bad for you. Everybody's gonna leave. You have the option, though, to pick who you want as your client. I know the most common thing is that people think like they're the ones that look for barbers. If they don't like you, then they'll go to the next barber. So why don't you do the same? If you don't like the client, you don't have to cut their hair. You can fire them as your client. You're gonna get another client. It's not the end of the world. Not every client is meant for you. You're gonna notice your 2nd year in that a certain type of clientele is gonna be attracted to you. And when you get a different person that doesn't match your vibe, it just kind of ruins the whole situation you got going on. So it's better for that person to go to some other barber that's going to match their vibe better than for them to come to you. I hope that cleared some stuff up with that. So don't try to force a client to be yours. Not every client is meant to be yours. Number 4, pricing your haircuts too low will burn you out eventually. Hey guys, so I started cutting hair for $25. And then when I came to the shop, I started cutting at $35. And for a long time, I was cutting at $35 until the shop owner basically forced us to move to $40. And even then, when everybody was at $40, I was still at $35. I told the owner, hey, I have a different way of raising my prices. And after a while, he's like, nope, you got to raise it again. And my way actually worked. And this is what you guys need to do. Don't be scared to raise your prices. If you keep your prices low, but you're cutting like every day, you're full, you're gonna burn yourself out. I guarantee it, okay? It's better for you to raise your prices and maybe cut less people, but give more quality haircuts, get paid more, and you'll have more free time. You'll be getting paid more, you make more money, and you're less burned out. And what happened with that shop was everybody stayed at that $40, and now I went from 35 to 45. And then now soon I'm gonna go up to 50, and they're still gonna be at that 40 price range. You know, it's the way they think of it is like every year they go up like $5, you know, and that's not the way you think of it. The way you raise your prices is when you're 80% full on your clientele, you raise your prices, you're gonna lose a little bit of clientele, you're gonna make more. It's okay to lose 10, 20% of your clients that you have, because that price range that because you charging more is going to make you more money with cutting less people. So hopefully that helped you guys out. Don't be stuck at $25 an hour for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, you don't need to. If your clientele already grew up to 80% or more at full capacity, raise your prices. That's just business. And if people don't get that, then it is what it is. But people will come back to you. If you're almost booked, that means you're a good barber. And people love your craft, and they're gonna come back to you whether you raise your prices $5, $10. Okay? Look out for yourself and don't get burned out, because then you can't cut anybody's hair. Number 5 is barbering is a business, not just an art. I know when you look at barbering, some people might think I'm doing this because it's art. I'm like expressing my artwork on people. I'm just an artist. I'm not even a barber. I'm an artist, you know. And it's like, okay, you could be an artist, but you gotta treat it like a business. If you want to make money, you gotta treat it as a business. You know, you have to show up on time. You gotta set a schedule. You gotta fire people. You know, everything is a business, guys. It's not just I'm an artiste. More ways to make money than just cutting hair. You know, like in this shop, I have the option to add another chair. I could start renting from them. I sell products. You know, it's a good way to make some extra income. You know, I built a website where I could sell products on that people enjoy products. You know, you have to treat it like a business, so then you can eventually you could do barbering for fun, and it doesn't have to be your main source of income. Now you could do it as if like you're an artist. This is like whatever haircuts you want to do, whatever you want to try out, then you could do it, because you're doing it for fun at this point. But right now it's a business and you're trying to make money. You're just starting out. It's a business. You know, either way, when you cut your hair, you're gonna have your own style and your own type of art on somebody's hair. So either way, you're an artist, but you got to think of it as a business. Okay. Number 6 is people know your energy. All right. People know if you're confident, if you're tired, if you're low energy, if you're scared, if you're confused. You know, people can sense that, and people feel that as soon as they walk into the shop. So whatever you need to do to keep your energy up and and the vibe of the shop, the vibe you got to do. Okay, so for me, it's I need my coffee. If I don't have coffee, then I got low energy, and I don't have good conversations with people, and I'm just out of it. I'm tired. And that's not what you need. You need to show up for your clients and bring that vibe, bring that energy, and yeah. So, and even when you're doing a haircut that maybe you're not as confident in, you want to look like you're confident, because people can sense it. When you're not confident in something, they're not going to trust you. Even if you are good at what you do, if you're not confident in it, people don't think you know what you're doing. So whatever you're doing, try your best to fake it, be confident, and that will relax the person. If they see that you're confident, you know what you're doing. I remember my first time in the barbershop. I was doing a lineup, and the guy told me, he's like, "Oh, you probably do this. You probably done this 1,000 times, huh?" And I'm like, "Uh-huh." And it was literally my first lineup in the barbershop. So, but he couldn't tell. He literally said, "Oh, you probably done this thousands of times." And I was like, So there's a story for you guys. Imagine I said, "No, this is my first time." Imagine how he would have felt. Number 7, guys, is the goal isn't to cut hair forever. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be cutting hair until I'm 90 years old, as a business. I want to cut hair for fun, but I don't want to do it because I have to do it. You have to create another source of income from somewhere. Use barbering as a tool. The amount of people we meet as barbers, the amount of connections we make. I have a client today that was literally a brain surgeon, and then I have another client that's a diplomat. Like, the amount of people you meet, the amount of stories you have, the amount of connections you can make in relationships that you have is insane, guys. That's why I think barbering is one of the best fields you can go into. Because just the amount of connections, guys. I know builders, plumbers, electricians, and you just text them like, "Hey, man, what do you know about this? What do you know about that?" Use barbering as a building block to level up and do something more. Make more income, where you don't have to work anymore. If you love barbering, make more money where you don't have to do it as a business, and you can do it for free, and you can just do it because you enjoy it, because it's fun for you. That's why I started doing barbering, because it was fun for me, and I enjoy barbering. I love it, but it's different when you're doing it for yourself as a business than just for fun. And yeah, hopefully those tips helped you guys. This is my 2nd year into barbering. I was able to open up my own barbershop suite with some of the stuff I told you guys. That's what helped me to open up my own shop. And yeah, if you want to know more, watch my first video. It's going to be up here somewhere. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. It's free. And yeah, stay lifted up.